You've probably heard of Brown versus Board of Education, the 1954 Supreme Court case that ruled separate education was in fact not equal. The case that led to the desegregation of schools across the country. But did you know that Texas played a pretty big role in that decision? That was the lesser-known case of Sweatt versus Painter, decided nearly 3 years before Brown versus Board made its way to the Supreme Court. In 1946, Heman Marion Sweatt applied to the University of Texas School of Law. His application met all criteria except for one, and he was denied admission solely because he was black. So, backed by the NAACP, Sweatt sued the law school's president, Theophilus Painter. They argued that there was no other option for Sweatt because there were no black law schools in Texas at the time. The court postponed Sweatt's case to give the state time to establish a school for black law students. The next year, they opened what's known today as Texas Southern University. But of course, a separate school didn't make for an equal one. The school for black students lacked full-time faculty, its own library, and even accreditation, which basically tells others it's a legit school. Sweatt and his counsel appealed the first decision with the 14th Amendment's Equal Protections Clause. It states that all people are to be treated equally under the law. Local and state courts shrugged off his appeal, but in 1950, the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. Later that year, he and several other black students integrated the University of Texas School of Law. Even though Sweatt versus Painter only applied to graduate-level schooling, it set a legal precedent that separate education was not equal, and eventually it helped pave the way for equal education opportunities for all students through Brown versus Board of Education. Tell us your little-known Texas history fact in the comments and follow for more Texas tea.